Well, the weather took a turn today. Everything is all iced up and it's raining. Goats do not like to get wet. So it looks like we're gonna have to break into the hay today and make sure everybody gets enough to eat. Got some hay in the feeders, so we'll try handing out some alfalfa pellets now. They all swarm one dish. Excuse me, Pippin. Inosuke has his bowl of piggy mash. I gotta throw in some more hay for him. Probably not gonna let him out today since it is pretty cold and rainy. I got the feeders kind of full. I'm not gonna fill them up all the way just in case the weather clears. If the rain stops, the goats can go out and graze, so I don't want them just hanging out in here and only eating hay all day. It's a little early to be feeding hay for us. What we figured in was feeding hay from December to March. So starting in November is a little early. So I don't want them fully on hay right now. They just get it whenever they can't go outside. So this big dish at the bottom here is to catch any hay that they might pull out and drop from this feeder. There is rabbit wire on the inside of this horse feeder, so they can't pull out a ton of hay. They have to stick their mouth through and just pull out what they can eat. And it has helped a ton with waste. Last year they wasted so much hay. So this is helping. This is one of the other hay feeders that I built. It's dark in here, so you can't really see what's going on, but there is wire dog kennel dividers on the front. So these openings are small enough that the goats can only get their mouth through, and they can only pull out the hay that they're going to eat. They can't pull out a ton that's just going to fall on the ground. They have two in this side, and then there's one in here. So there's one in here for them. So far, these have been working really well. They don't really waste much, and what does drop to the ground is usually the more stalky straw-like hay, and anything that falls on the ground is just going to become bedding. So it works out. It's staying really warm in here, so that's nice for the piggy. This window was open, and the wind was coming from here, so it's a little colder in here than it normally is. But it's still warmer than it is outside. It's currently 34 outside. Still a little chilly. Who's coughing? Hello. Went down the wrong pipe. She's trying to stick her head in the scoop, and she brought some cut up, and it went down the wrong pipe. You okay? Yeah, all better? So it looks like everybody's set for this morning. They will probably run out here a couple times just to see how rainy it is. But can you guys see how iced up all the trees are out there? And the fence line? I'll show you that tree branch that's hanging down. I have to get you some hay too, don't I? Gotta pee on yourself. See how the fences and the gates, they're all covered in ice? And then this branch is hanging down. So if the goats were brave enough to come out in the rain, they would love to eat this. That's pretty heavy. So I gotta feed, gotta give hay to the boys, and then check on the pigs and collect eggs. I don't think anybody's gonna come out much today. Got the boys their hay. They look like they're doing good in here. These guys probably will go stand out in the rain because they can smell the girls still. So they're gonna be checking to see if there's any ladies by the fence. Oh, some of them braved the rain. Squirt, Pippin, Kit, a little bit. gonna go back. Whew, it's cold out here. The rain let up a little bit, so the goats decided to come out. Cool weather has them feeling a little feisty, so Winks and Raftalia are sparring. It doesn't look like anybody is in heat today. So it's kind of looking like Winks is already bred. So we'll just have to watch her and get an estimate on when she's possibly going to be due. The last doe we have to wait on is Minnie. She should be coming into heat next week. And then in a couple weeks we have to watch all the other girls that were bred to see if they come back into heat. So aside from our old ladies and the babies, everybody's been bred that was supposed to get bred. And we can start looking forward to babies next spring. They have started to munch away on this little branch. Some of the ice started breaking off, and they're eating all the needles that don't have ice on them. I don't know if you guys can tell how much ice is actually caked on here, but these pine cones are completely encased in ice. It's a good snack for the goats though. Find anything good in there? Since I'm not having to watch goats today, I've been cleaning out this a little bit. I clean out the walkway every day and I just rake it over to here. I haven't decided if I'm gonna throw this pile on the compost pile that is way out in that corner, or if I'm just gonna keep it here to block the snow, which usually drifts right in front of here. I think I'm gonna try using it to block the snow because that drift that comes through here is pretty bad. Good morning, Inosuke. Did you finish your breakfast? Since it's not snowing or raining, I have this open so he can come out today. Probably wants to come out and stretch his legs after being in here all day yesterday. We'll see how much hay got wasted with these feeders. See, there's a little bit, and right underneath the feeder, there's some. It looks like it is... See, it's mostly the stalky stuff that's almost like straw. They ate all the leafy stuff. And over on this side, there's a little bit more hay waste in this side, but there are 3 feeders. You can see that the bucket caught some. So that I'll just throw back in the feeder as long as nobody has gone in here and pooped. Back in the feeder. This one is pretty much empty. They can't really reach back here to get the little crumbs, but they cleaned up everything else and there is very little waste. This is like nothing compared to what they were doing. So I'm pretty happy with these feeders. Looks like they ate all their minerals again, except that one. That one's pretty empty too. So refill the minerals again. And then just have to wait and see if anybody decides to go into heat later today. Probably not. Hopefully these videos aren't getting too repetitive for y'all. I kind of started doing these videos as more of a kind of like a video journal, just so I can look back and see what I've done over the year and see maybe how I can improve with the goats. But I am not great on camera. You can probably tell from all the jump cuts that I tend to jumble up my words or say constantly, but I thought it'd be fun to do a video journal type thing of just like every day on the farm and see what that comes out like. But I know it can get a little repetitive. Hopefully y'all enjoy seeing the goats at least. I know everything is gonna get a lot more entertaining as soon as we start having babies again. But until we get to the baby season, it's just kind of repetitive tasks. Cleaning and feeding, that's pretty much all we do over the winter. Hopefully next spring we can maybe get some babies out of the piggies. Yes, you're so pretty. Hello. So Ava is just about 18 months now, and it looked like she was bred, but we ended up not getting babies from her. But she was extremely overweight, and then she had the stress of travel and extremely hot weather. So I think all that stress combined just made her reabsorb the babies. So we're gonna try again as soon as our little boar is big enough. And hopefully we'll get some cute little Kunekune babies. I'll have to start watching for signs of heat. About a week after we brought Ava home, it looked like one of the girls was in heat because they were showing some of the signs. There was a lot of butt sniffing and they were trying to mount each other. I couldn't really tell who it was that was in heat. I was pretty sure that it was Clover, but Clover was only about 6 months old at that time. So maybe it was Ava. So Clover here is a year old. She turned a year in October. So hopefully about the same time we would pair Ava up with Inosuke. We will maybe be able to pair Clover up too if she shows signs of heat, because she'll be right in the age range for breeding. We just kind of have to wait on this little guy. So he'll be 6 months old in January, and that's what some people will say boars will get interested in the ladies. I don't know if there's going to be a size issue there, but I'm sure he would find a way. We just have to see if he is interested enough, because he's going to be young and inexperienced. And hopefully when Charlotte is big enough, we will then have 3 girls to breed, as long as they all can get bred, because I've heard if they get too old they have fertility issues. So Ava is starting to creep up on that higher age end. If she doesn't get bred this next year, then we might start seeing some problems with fertility with her. Clover's got some time. I think most people want them bred before they're 2 to make sure they don't become infertile. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not. A lot of people have agreed with that statement. I know if we do end up getting babies, my mom is going to want to keep them all. She loves the pigs way more than anything we have right now, especially her pig. That would be Charlotte, the one that's in the house. These 3 are my pigs. I found them. I purchased them myself. So the little piggy that's in the house, Charlotte, was my mom's birthday present. I did pay for half of her. I put the deposit down. My mom did pay for the other half of her. So that pig is my mom's. She loves her. And I think she's wanting babies from Charlotte to keep. So who knows how many pigs we're going to end up with once we start breeding. I told my mom if she wants to keep any more pigs, she has to get the other half of this building to keep them in, because we're not going to have enough space for all these piggies. Clover is looking much better this week as well. Her fur has started to grow back in after she blew her coat, which I've heard they do once a year. She is also starting to put weight back on. She had some worm issues she was dealing with. Took us a little while to get those knocked out. So I'm pretty sure she got worms from digging around in our compost pile. And of course that is where we put all of the bedding from all of the animals. So assuming Little Bit's droppings are in that pile, and Little Bit had worm issues, if the piggies went out there and ingested any of that, they definitely picked up worms from there. But yeah, got that knocked out. She's putting her weight on now. So hopefully she doesn't have any more worm issues. As soon as it starts snowing, they are going to go inside their shed for the winter to keep them warm because our winters are very harsh. So Ava will probably plump back up again. She has been doing great. She looks so much better than when we first got her, weight-wise. We're still working on correcting her toes. They're still a little bit long. She doesn't really like to have them trimmed, but we work on it when she's sleepy. Yes. You're a pretty girl. This little hole in her ear is from, she had an ear tag that was clipped on here. She caught it on the fence and tore the ear tag out. And I didn't feel like putting it back in the ear, so we just left it to heal. She is a registered Kunekune, so she needed the ear tag for identification, but she is also microchipped, so she has another form of identification. And I kept the tag so I can keep it in my record book for her. There was a picture of her wearing the tag, so I can prove that the tag did indeed belong to her. It just got ripped out. Which is one reason I don't like ear tags on any of my animals. But enough of the rambling, I guess. There's not really much going on today as of this morning. So I think this is probably going to be the end of this video.